Hello, everyone, and welcome to another flow here at Let Us Be Lively. Today's flow is going to be a quick grounding flow. So we'll be fully on our mat. It's for total relaxation and just kind of moving your body around. Maybe if you've been sitting in an office chair, maybe you've just been really tight all day or just need to get moving, can't sleep, just waking up. This is the flow for you. And so with that in mind, just kind of carve yourself out some space wherever you are. It can be a rug in your home, it can be a little spot by your bed or a little spot even in the office. Maybe you have a mat to roll out there with you just to get the blood flowing a little bit and rolling out any tension that is in the body currently. So together we'll get started in a comfortable seated position. You can also get started completely reclined if that feels better in your body right now. But with that in mind, beginning to set yourself up in your most comfortable position. And so settling yourself down, starting to slowly tune into the breath. Maybe you let the eyes flutter close. Maybe you find a drishti, a focal point out in front of you to focus on. Begin to take a few mindful, deep breaths. Feeling the rhythm of the inhales followed by your exhales. Maybe feeling the heart rate beginning to slow as you come into stillness on your mat. And then choosing to work to help the heart rate slow, help turn on that rest system, our parasympathetic nervous system, by expanding the exhales a bit longer than the inhales. So we'll practice this together by fully exhaling to prepare. Let it all go. And then inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly return to your natural breath, maybe focusing on expanding the exhale when you can. Allowing the body to fill with fresh air on the inhales. And on the exhales, choosing to consciously let something go, something that's no longer serving you, leaving the to-do lists and things at the edge of the mat for you to come back to after class, knowing that you've carved out this time for you and only you. And with that in mind, beginning to find an intention. An intention can be an affirmation or mantra that you have in your daily life. It can be a word or a phrase that resonates with you. It can be big or small, but just slowly coming into that here. Take a deep inhale, deep exhale to seal in the intention you've chosen. And then slowly begin to open the eyes, wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. Inhale the arms up and overhead. Gaze goes up, head goes back. Hands come down through heart center and down by our knees. We'll warm up the spine first by finding our seated cat-cows. Inhale, gaze lifts, chest lifts. Exhale, round down, draw the shoulder blades apart. Inhale, lift up, shoulder blades draw together. Exhale, round down. Find this at your own breath pace, your own movement. Just letting the spine open in any way that it needs to. And then slowly come to stillness. Arms come up and they find a steeple mudra, which means pointer fingers and thumbs extend, the other fingers interlace. And just slowly begin to tick-tock side to side, finding those side reaches to lengthen both sides of the body, create space where there once wasn't space. And then slowly, once you've been tick-tocking side to side, maybe you let the right hand drop down, left hand extends up and over, and you press into it, finding length through the left side body. The gaze can turn up at the floating hand. Come back through center, switching it out to the other side. Left hand comes down, right hand reaches up and over. Gaze can be lifted. Breathing into the right ribs, expanding the right side of the body. Coming back to center. We'll slowly walk our hands forward. Find length here in a seated forward fold. And then come back up to center. Hands and fingers point to the back of the room, back of the mat. Inhale, lift up, chestless. Gaze goes back. And then come back to center. Switch whichever leg is forward or on top. And then find that forward fold again, getting into the other hip a little bit. This one's likely a bit tighter than the other one was. So feeling into that sensation, just letting it be, and then walk it back. Hands point back, lift up, find a back bend. We'll be doing a few back bends today, so just warming that up for yourself. Slowly, we'll make our way to a reclined position on our mat. So going ahead, laying down, we'll warm up the spine a little bit more by first extending out long, stretching from the fingers to the toes. If you're in a confined space, maybe reach for opposite elbows like I'm doing. And then hug it in, get small. Maybe you roll on the spine a bit, side to side, forwards and back. Just work to find the part of the spine that needs some extra love. Do you hold tension in your lower back and your sacrum? Can you massage that out a bit? Or maybe it's your upper back and your shoulders. You maybe rock the back of the head along the mat. Kind of giving yourself some self-massage here to release that tension. Keeping those knees hugged in, give them a squeeze, and then send your left leg out long, hugging your right knee in. Let's open it up first. So opening the right knee out to the right, open that hip, and then slowly close it over the left side. Right arm goes out to a T. Gaze can follow. You're finding your supine twist. So it's not necessarily about bringing the knee to the mat, but more so keeping both shoulders grounded into the mat. So that knee can float and then draw it back in. Give it a squeeze, draw the left leg in, hug tight, send the right leg long. Hugging the left knee in, open it out like a book. And then slowly close the book over to the right side. Left arm extends out. Let that feel good. Take a deep breath. Exhale allows you to twist a little bit deeper, creating more space. Slowly coming back up through center. Draw both knees in, and then find your happy baby. You can stay here or reach for the outsides of the feet, and then pull the feet down close to you, stretching out the spine. Maybe you find that gentle rock side to side. Maybe you straighten a leg, then bend into the other, and kind of just find whatever movement your body's needing. Stretch it out, especially if you've been sitting or sleeping. This can be a good one to just reawaken the body. And then hug the knees in. Send the legs long. And then begin to roll over onto your stomach. So once you're on your stomach, we'll bring our hands underneath our shoulder heads and prepare for cobra. So focusing on those back bends today. Inhale, the upper body lifts. Exhale, it floats down. Find this at your own breath rhythm, only coming up to baby cobra, little to no weight in the hands. Just warming up those glutes, lower back muscles, protecting the spine. And then maybe you choose to make it a little bit bigger. Maybe the hands come back a bit and you stretch up into the spine. Find length as you grow up. Exhale down. And then let's add in a little bit of a twist. So this time, hands come to the outside of the mat. You're going to tense your fingertips and the elbows point up to the ceiling. So you're going to inhale. This allows you to get higher. Exhale down. Now this is where the twist comes in. As you inhale up, exhale, bring a shoulder and cheek to the mat. Inhale, lift, come to the other side. Shoulder and cheek go down. You're going to find this here again at your own breath cycle. Inhale to lift. Exhale as you melt into the twist. Next time through, slowly come all the way down. Hands come down by our sides. We're going into locust. So our upper body and lower body will both lift this time. So on your inhale, lift the upper body, lift the lower body, hands float. Exhale down. Inhale, lift up, hold. Exhale, melt down. Try to expand the breath here. Inhale up, pause. Exhale down, pause. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Melt down here, ground down into the mat. Moving on to floor bow. You can stay in locust if that's the variation that feels good, or you reach for the outsides of the feet, keeping the knees close together, or at least in line with the hips. Inhale, lift up, kick into the hands with the feet. Gaze is down at the mat. Pausing here rather than letting go, rather than finding that flow. Can you hold it here? Take little breaths of air. Hold. And when you're ready, let it all go. Keeping the knees bent, use the hands as a pillow. Windshield wiper the legs. Release the low back. Good. Let the feet come down. Hands plant under our shoulder heads. Press yourself up, finding our tabletop. Here in our tabletop, let's find some cat-cows. Just like we did seated, inhale, gaze lifts. Exhale, round down. And then slowly begin to find yourself to down dog. So maybe the hands walk out a little bit more, coming to the toes, sinking back, and then lifting the hips up and back. Walk out your dog. This is the first one of the day. And then sink into stillness. Come back to your intention, come back to your breath. Lift high on the toes and then lower the heels. High on the toes, lower the heels. Slowly we'll begin to draw the right knee in and then place the right knee down right by the right wrist. Untuck the back toes, back knee, and you'll find yourself in pigeon pose. Feel free to place a block or a blanket underneath this right hip if you find it floating. And you'll come up, find that baby back bend. And then when you're ready, exhale, begin to lower down to the forearms, lowering yourself down all the way so that the head comes down to the hands or a block at the top of your mat. Finding stillness here in this pose. And slowly coming back to your hands. On your hands, find that lift, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and send the right foot back to down dog. Wiggle it out, do what you need to here. And then find stillness. Rise high to those heels, low to the mat, high on the toes, low to the mat. Take a pause. Then draw left knee to left wrist. Lower the back knee, lower and untuck the back toes. Find height in your pigeon. And when you're ready, begin to fold down over that left leg. Remembering that you can put a blanket or prop underneath the left hip. Melting down here in your pigeon pose. Slowly begin to make your way back to your hands. Baby lift. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, come back to downward dog. Lower the knees to the mat. Shift the hips back, find your child's pose. Forehead to the mat. Knees can be wide, keep the toes together. Come back to your intention, come back to your breath. Slowly come up through table. And then slowly sink your hips down onto your heels, coming into thunderbolt. Staying here, we're gonna find some half moons on our knees. So hands come up, find that steeple mudra, and tick-tock side to side. If this doesn't feel comfortable on your knees, feel free to sit on a block or something to lift the hips. And then slowly let the right hand drop. Left hand arches, find that side reach. Come to the other side. Find that side reach. Find that length. come back to the center. This is where we're gonna find our back bend for the day. So rising high into humble mountain, you can stay here or bring the hands to almost as if you were putting them in your pockets, if you had pockets in your pants. And you arch the back, find your back bend. You can stay there or option to tuck the toes and bring your hands to your heels, lifting up, finding your camel pose. Wherever you are, slowly begin to make your way up. Slowly sink to your heels. Find that tick-tock side to side. And then melt down into child's pose. So the hands can come to the feet for a fully restorative child's pose. Slowly coming up, we'll begin to make our way to a comfortable seat. And we'll extend the legs forward, flexing the feet. Inhale, the arms lift. Exhale, round down over, forward fold. Reaching for the feet here, or maybe at the shins or the ankles, finding your variation. Slowly walk yourself up. We'll bend our right knee and we're going to find a seated twist. So the right foot comes to the outside of the left leg. You can also bring the left leg around. So you're kind of in this pretzel shape. Our left elbow will come to the right knee, right arm extends back, and you twist, gaze goes over the right shoulder. Come back to center, untuck the left foot, hug the right knee in, send it long. Coming to our left side, left knee in, stepping it over the right. Maybe the right leg comes around. And then this time, right elbow to left knee, left arm extends back, gaze follows. Every inhale, you grow tall. Exhale, maybe you twist a bit deeper. Slowly come back, unwind yourself. And this time, we'll bring legs fully apart. So in a wide leg forward fold position, we'll first head to the right side. The right arm goes down the right leg, left arm up and over. Again, find that side reach. And then when you're ready, exhale, left hand comes down, right hand, you're coming over top of that right leg here. Walk the hands up, send it over to the left. Left arm goes down, right arm goes up. And slowly roll over. Walk yourself up. Slowly come forward, wide leg forward fold. And then walk yourself up. Slowly begin to come down to your mat again, finding a fully reclined position. We'll gently draw those knees in, Rock along the spine just as we did at the beginning of class, coming full circle with our practice. Maybe you reach for the outsides of the feet, come into happy baby. If shoulder stand is in your practice, you can also enter that by extending the hips up, send the toes high, use the arms as support. And you can even begin to dance and find shapes with the legs. Finding any last movement before we enter our Shavasana that would feel good in your body. Making your way down wherever you are. Hug the knees in. Send them long down the mat. Slowly beginning to soften, finding your variation of stillness. Come back to your breath. Come back to your intention. Let the eyes flutter closed. Release the tension between the eyes. The jaw softens and relaxes. Shoulders roll back and down along the mat. Hands and feet fully relaxed. Soften the breath and allow yourself to sink down into your Shavasana for a few moments before we end our practice together. If the mind wanders, come back to the breath. Slowly letting the eyes flutter open. Wiggling the fingers and the toes. Draw the knees in. Rock side to side. And then find a rock forward and back until you come to a comfortable seated position on your mat. Back where we started, shoulders roll up, back and down. Inhale, the arms lift up. Exhale, they come through heart center. Come back to your intention. Let the eyes close or stay focused at a point in front of you. We'll end with a quote from Chloe Wade. The way you love yourself sets the example for how everyone else will love you. Set the bar high by showing yourself respect, loyalty, compassion, kindness, care, and vulnerability. Show us all how loving you is done. Thank you guys so much for showing up for yourself today and meeting me on the mat. Have a great rest of your day, and I hope you come practice with us at Let Us Be Lively again soon. Namaste.